multiple time zones and continents. That's always good news. Let me close this window here. And look at our agenda. Let's see here today. We've only got a couple of things on there.
Happy Groundhog's Day, everyone.
Yeah,
Yes, according to our guy down here, we're gonna have an early spring.
we've got very bright sunshine, so Buckeye Chuck has given us a 6 more weeks story.
We have a total cloud cover down here. So we're gonna have an early spring. You guys are gonna have more winter.
All right, just a couple of things. Maybe Nathaniel, you'd like to comment. We got some pretty good news from the ARRL in the last few days, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. The ARRL has been absolutely incredibly supportive. And Ed Hare actually submitted 4 poster abstracts to the HAMSI workshop. So he's the director of the ARRL lab, and he is planning on coming to the HAMSI workshop in person.
Right.
So he told me that I didn't have to select all 4 of those poster presentations, but he said I could go through them and pick the one I guess I want, or maybe, I don't know, 2 or something. I'm still working that out. We just got them last night, reading that. But that's fantastic. And when I talked to Bob Inderbitson, it sounded like someone from, if not Becky Schoenfeld, but maybe someone from Publications or QST might be coming down to do some fact finding as well. So the league has been incredibly supportive. It looks like we will have league presence at the HAMSI workshop, and so I think that's an even more important reason to make sure we have a really good rollout of all of our Eclipse plans in time for the workshop, because this is kind of going to be the big like kickoff.
Yeah, I think I know there are a couple of people, especially Ed and others, have worked with the league and contacted and whatnot, and apparently that's all come together. So the collective effort has been fruitful.
All good.
One other just left over from last week, the NASA, the citizen science website. I submitted everything on Friday, uploaded Bill's picture, and I don't know if I'll hear back from Mark or if somebody keeps an eye on that stuff. I should myself a little bit and see if we get posted up there at some point. So that's to happen.
Great.
I think today, I think you're right. I think, well, one thing that was really timely, we wanted to talk about the website a little bit today and make sure that we got plans to put that in good shape. So let me flip slides. Let's see. I don't need this one. And there we go. And ironically today, we heard back from Vicki Lawhon at Scranton with our updated website banner here.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, so she did a couple of things we asked. Was to flip the moon around here. She's put a more realistic looking pattern on the globe of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
She added a little moon symbol here so that, well, at least to me, that looks like a light bulb. So that's fixed up. And she did add an antenna here on our globe.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice to see that she put my antenna on there.
That's yours, Ron. Good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think we're ready to use it. I don't see that we need any more edits on it. She did a very nice job.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
like it.
great.
Okay, so that was perfect timing on her part. Like I said, it came in an hour or 2 ago, and Nathaniel suggested we ought to figure out what we want on our webpage and how we kind of want to link things together a little bit. So I put together kind of a little map here. There's some pages that exist on our site today in the solid line, and there's a couple of things in dotted lines that I think we'll want to add in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And at least we could start from here, I suppose.
Yeah. Whew. FOIES page. Okay. So I'm thinking about, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about a couple of things. I'm thinking about how someone would see this if you just go to hamsci.org. How will they end up in the correct place? That's one thought. The second question I have is, how will when they get to the landing page, how will that landing page look? And it looks like you've thought about that a little bit. And so you're thinking of having, all right. I guess one thing that strikes me from this is if I'm a ham radio operator and I'm used to like, you know, if I'm used to going to contest university even, which that's a fairly advanced, sophisticated person, or if I'm any kind of ham radio operator who has not been following along with ham sci, and you get to this and you say, how do I participate? Like, I don't know, they're gonna be like SEQP, GSSC, like what do all those things mean? Which one do I do? It seems a little overwhelming.
Okay, let's take a look at, let's see here.
I was thinking the same thing, Nathaniel. I was like comparing that like with DX University, Contest University, just the exact same lines as what you were doing. And as I'm encouraging everybody I meet to come into this, they're not going to know what any of those mean. And there's probably a 90% chance that all they want to do is support it and be in the contest and nothing else. And so I was kind of thinking that it would be nice if there was just something, some kind of a button, something, a window they could click on that just said entry into the solar eclipse contest or ham radio contest. And then if they wanted to explore the rest, they could.
I think that's probably true. I think the vast majority of people at this point are just going to want to know, how do I operate? And then we should make it so that the science is accessible too, and you can get to that. But the number one question is, how do I operate? How do I participate? And then once you know how they operate and how they participate, then they can go, then there can be another thing that is like, what happens to my data? What does all of this mean?
In other words,
Wouldn't that
we're saying
logically
is,
go on the science page?
I'm sorry, Jim, again, please.
The answer to what does all this mean? What are they going to do with it? Would that logically go on the science page, or is that different?
I think it would go on the science page. You know, I think with these things, it might be good having like a single paragraph or a couple of sentences that motivates the science, like why we're doing this, you know.
That's a good point. Put that in the same place as participate after you talk
Or like,
about participation.
you know, we make the cases like there are these 2 upcoming eclipses over the United States. These are the only 2 we're going to have for the next 50 years, and they have dramatic impacts on the ionosphere. Participate in this large amateur radio event to help study it, and then how do you operate, and then we can have another section and another page on the science and analysis and all of that.
The one thing I would suggest is not only FAQs rules, but something clear of how do you upload a log?
Right. Yeah, I think that's all goes with the how do I participate. And even now that we have the different things, we have the SEQP, we have the GSSC, we have the TDOA thing. It's like, you know, you want to kind of direct people to the right thing very quickly. It's like, you could be like, I want to operate, if I want to operate phone or CW, go here. I want to operate PSK, or I want to operate FT8 or FST4W, go here. And then it brings them right to that page.
I would encourage, at least consider something that said, I'm thinking on the fly here, but something that would say in essence, are you a contester? Are you interested in participating? Here is your chance. This is going to be an eclipse and combined contesting. And because I think if you have some of those key words, then at least the people I associate with in the ham radio, that's going to kind of catch them right off the bat more than eclipse or anything. Contributing, contesting, helping. I don't know. It's just a suggestion.
Oh, I like the word contest being very prominent.
I looked at the site of the contest calendar site,
Mhm.
and there's really two entries in from there. One is to the rules, and the other is how to participate. And so I think on our page, we need to have those two buttons for each of the areas needs to be there, because that's what they're gonna, that's what a lot of contesters are used to seeing. They want to check out the rules to see what's required of them, and they want to have an entry point for entering the contest.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And what's nice about the fact that we have rules is like the quote unquote contest rules is in fact our experiment procedure. So it's like the ham radio side of things, it's the contest rules. The science side of things, it's experiment procedure, but it's really the same thing for us.
Exactly. But to Ed's point, when we go on and look at, when you click on the rules, like on the ARRL contest letter that comes out, or the NCJ, or some of those, when you click on it, that's what it always says is contest rules. But you're right, it's really our parameters.
But I think here for getting people to operate, we should use the term contest rules. I think we should actually use as many ham radio terms as possible.
Yeah.
Because that's the community we're trying to reach.
On the left side of the graphic that's up, where it says banner in rotation on ham side page, could you just put a list of these abbreviations, and it'll become pretty quick to people who read through there that the FOEIS is actually the Festival of Eclipse, and that the SEQP is the Solar Eclipse QSO party, and just have that real quick as a reference source. You know, in most scientific publications, they put the full name of the acronym, and then in bold letters, they put the acronym after it. And it just seems like that's a quick and easy way to get the vocabulary started.
Oh, I want to break here for a second really quickly. We have a new participant on our Telecon I would like to introduce, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I'd like to introduce Jesse Alexander, WB2IFS/3. Welcome, Jesse.
Thanks.
So Jesse is he is with the National Radio Astronomical Observatory, the NRAO, and his position is actually funded by ARDC, and he's running a special ham radio project, a diversity project, to bring in underrepresented groups into the amateur radio world. And so he has 9 students in his group right now, and they are he meets with them. You meet with them what, twice a week on Zoom?
Twice a week, pretty
Okay,
much twice a week. Yeah.
And they're located all over the United States, right?
Yep, all
And
over the place.
They're between about 18 and 20 years old. And Jesse is going to be one of our invited speakers at the HamSci workshop. And what I'm going to be speaking to his class on February 15th.
Yep.
I'm going to be talking to him about the Solar Eclipse QSO party. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to provide a path that his students can participate in the SEQP, hopefully by like joining up with local clubs that would be able to provide access to equipment and help with mentoring in the operating. Does that sound about right?
Exactly.
All right.
That's perfect.
So Jesse, you want to introduce yourself any more past that?
Yeah. Well, I think you covered it pretty good. We're about 2-3 weeks into the program with the students. We have, just like Nathaniel said, we have Monday class meetings, and then on Wednesday we have guest speakers, of which Nathaniel is one. We just had last night, we had Rhea into
To
RJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we just had her last night. That was good. The young folks really had a good chance to talk with her, and that was fun. And she's, she's sending QSL cards to Zoom QSL cards to people who request them. So it was a good event. Before that, we had a new ham who was Patricia Nelson, KE0QXD, and she was pretty good too. I found her in On the Air magazine. So we've got a pretty good lineup. We've got a bunch of folks from the NRAO who are going to also speak, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I should say that there's some other things that are coming up. We are looking at, there is some kind of, you mentioned NASA Citizen Science Program. There's something that NASA is doing called, I think it's called Eclipse Ambassadors, that will coincide with the annular. And we are very interested in that. We're very interested in getting the students involved in that. By the time the annular happens, they should all have their tech licenses, so they could participate. They could actually do QSOs. The fallback position was to use web SDR and have them listen in. But this time, by the time this comes through, they should be able to work through local clubs and that kind of thing. So, but this ambassadors program on NASA's part sounds pretty exciting too, and we're trying to see how to link the two. I don't know much about it. I work with Danielle. I don't know why I'm blanking on Danielle's name, but she runs many of the programs, and she brought the ambassadors, the Eclipse Ambassadors program to my attention, and I think there's lots of synergy between the QSO party and the Eclipse Ambassadors. So that's it. My apologies for interrupting your flow.
Oh, no, I'm really glad you're here, and I'm glad you're part of this conversation, because I want to make sure that this group can do everything we can to help facilitate you and your students, hopefully be a part of this and be a part of this conversation. And I also, yes, Mary Lou, Mary Lou just raised her hand. I want to point out that you and Mary Lou have something in common.
What's that?
Do you know what it is, Mary Lou?
I'll let you tell it.
So Mary Lou lives on Montclair Avenue in Montclair.
Oh, get out of here. Okay. Okay. I used to live on Madison Avenue.
All righty, not far away.
Yeah.
And Jesse is from, Jesse, you became a ham because you were reading QSTs and things at the Montclair Public Library, right? Yeah.
That's right. Exactly right. Yep.
And
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, I was going to say, and my first exam was given, novice, was given by two teachers from Montclair Public School System who happened to be married to each other.
Who was that?
And I don't have the names on the tip of my tongue, but I'll look it up. It was kind of interesting. I actually found their QSL cards, and I looked them up, and there's some ham of course, there's always somebody. There's some guy on the air, on the internet, who has every single call book probably since they were published. And I was able to track them down. They're, of course, I shouldn't say of course, but they're separated now. I think one person is living in Florida and the other person is was living in California. I reached out to them both. I only got one response, and I think it was from the husband. But I can, this has been a while back. I'll have to go back like 40 years ago. This has been a while back. I'll have to go back and see if I can find their information. Really nice people. They gave me the 5 words per minute test in their apartment. And the thing that I remember when I was 15 years old was that they had a problem with ants, and they were all over the place and stuff like that. And they were like on me as I'm taking the exam and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, yeah, not good, but I passed, right? So, So that's yeah, Montclair is I call it my hometown. That's where I grew up and all that kind of good stuff. So I know exactly where Montclair Avenue is. I know where that is.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right around a corner, as we say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Near
yeah,
Concho Plaza. Any rate, I wanted to say that NASA has done a really good job with training up people to be solar system ambassadors.
Oh,
So they have a program for many years, and these people give talks to clubs and talk to the press and that sort of thing. Some of them are much more knowledgeable than others, but they're trained well at all sorts of things in PR with solar system objects. So I didn't know about Eclipse ambassadors. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I expect they'll do a
yeah.
good job with that too.
I just have visions of, I'm just sitting here. I found the website here. I think, yeah, I found the website. If I can, I'll share it here. But I thought this was cool, and I just had visions of one person talking while the other person is in the QSO. But this sounds really cool. So it turns out it's not NASA; it's Astronomical Society of the Pacific.
They're good too, right?
Yeah. So this I thought was really cool. And I thought this is very, very cool. In fact, I see ways of knitting these things together. We're still working on it, but I'll let you all know. I may have some news by the time by workshop time.
Great, great. That
So
sounds
this I think
wonderful.
is really cool. That is really cool. Nice meeting you, uh,
I should
Mary
point
Lou.
out that Mary Lou, she was a professor, a physics and astronomy professor at Montclair State for almost 40
Oh
years,
man,
right?
42 years.
42 years.
42
And
years.
she taught me
Wow,
everything I know.
excellent. Well,
So
that's really great.
I'd like to do some other introductions on here too. So the keynote speaker at the Hamsci workshop is over here, Dr. Patricia Reif. She's at Rice University.
Oh.
So Pat, meet Jesse. Jesse, meet Pat. You're both invited speakers at the Hamsci workshop.
Looking forward to it.
Hey, I got you beat, Mary. I've been teaching for 46 years.
Whoa!
Wow.
And this is my natural hair color. Can you believe it?
That's my natural hair color. I earned every one of these gray hairs.
Well, I've been teaching for 2 weeks, and look what happened to me. No, I'm just-
That is so sad. Oh dear, oh dear.
And then we have Ed F. Check WX2R, and Ed is also in New Jersey. Are you actually in Fair Lawn?
Yes, I am in Fair Lawn, so,
Okay.
and went to Montclair as an undergrad, so small world.
And so
okay.
Ed is you're on the ARRL PR committee, right?
Correct, yes. Mhm.
So he's kind of a formal link we have to the ARRL PR.
Okay.
And then I want you to, there's a lot of people on here. The other person that I want you to meet, and I'll turn it back over to him, is Gary AF8A. He's over in Ohio, and he's our amateur radio community coordinator. So I'm supposed to like be in charge of the science of this project, and Gary's supposed to be in charge of doing all the coordination of the amateur radio community at large. So it's very likely that you and he and your students would be working with him as well.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So with that, I'll turn it back over to Gary. What we're doing right now is we're trying to go through our plans, getting the website up and running for our event. So thank you, Gary.
No problem. This whole thing bodes well. I mean, I'm looking forward to the conference because we've obviously got a lot of interesting people going to be there. Let's see. Anyhow, so just to reiterate, this is not supposed to be the look of any of our web pages. These blocks just represent either actual or potential pages that would appear on the Hamsci website. So everyone's notes have been very helpful so far. I think the idea of being able to get to something, information very quickly and take action is great. And then if people want to do a deeper dive into the science of the festival and so on, that makes a lot of sense. So I'll work on mocking some of that stuff up. One of the questions I had, Nathaniel, is in 2017, I believe you had a kind of a pre-registration form. So for people who are planning on participating stuff, do you recall having that set up?
I do remember that. Yeah, we probably used a Google form before. We could either do that or use a Microsoft form now. Either one would work. When I did it in 2017, I was at NJIT, and NJIT was a Google shop. So they did Gmail and Google Forms and all that stuff. Now that I'm at the University of Scranton, we're a Microsoft shop. So everything's OneDrive and, Microsoft Forms. But yeah, probably having some sort of pre-registration is a good idea.
Okay, I'll look back on what was on the form in 2017. What was in a normal amateur radio contest, people rarely, is it a requirement or even a suggestion to pre-register, but here you're just trying to gauge interest and
Yeah, we were gauging interest, and so I guess the question is, yeah, do we really need that? And I also saw in there you had sign up for the what do you call it? Sign up for the Google group, and you mentioned the old 2017 Eclipse Google group, so we can talk about if we do want to bring that back, or if we want to stick with our plan of just getting everyone to register for the main HamSci website.
Right. So yeah, is this? I'm not sure what the rest of the folks on the call think about. Is this more of a thing that'll help us with the science later on? To me, the main thing is after people participated, they submit their logs, they submit their data and stuff.
It may be an unnecessary step.
But I have an idea. If in the pre-registration sign up, I don't know, what sort of information were you going to ask for people? I was just thinking if you could get their name and what state they're in, then we could eventually even make a try at tying people together across the path.
Yeah. So that is true. If we do get name and get some basic information, and that might be what we had on the original form too. So that could help with planning. It could also help with, if we find out that there's a spot that is I don't know, underrepresented in terms of participation, we could send out some personal emails to people in that area and see if, encourage them to go out and talk to their clubs or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, because the PR committee is also looking to identify clubs, by geography. So this would be a really good tie-in.
So yeah, actually, there's a
point
lot
of
of use
publicity.
for this. Yeah, look for gaps. And I can tell you, even for talking to program officers and trying to get funding or things like that, they always want to know how many people are participating, how many people are you reaching, where are they? Like, they like to know those things.
Okay, so we'll pencil that into something we want to do then. That's fine.
Yeah, and then you can also how, like, what are they planning on doing? CW, phone, digital? I don't know.
We're just general interest because we're looking to build a list. So
Yeah, general interest.
Okay.
So, like, drop, what is it, check boxes, or you click all that apply.
Okay. Great. Okay, that gives me a fair amount to work on between now and next week. So let me, if there's other suggestions or ideas, now's a great time to bring them up. I'd be glad to take more notes. Other than that, you've given me some pretty good ideas, so.
So Gary, I jumped in and looked at a couple of convention sites and a couple of contest sites. And one thing that I noticed is kind of at the top of their site. And this goes along with what we were saying earlier, but it says, welcome to, kind of a warm type of a greeting. Welcome to this convention. Something like, we're glad that you've checked into here. We look forward, just kind of that same thing of using contest nomenclature, something that just says, welcome here. We're really glad that you're checking this out. Maybe that's too much, but it was something that stood out to me while I was looking at a couple of websites here a few minutes ago.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. I mean, the beautiful thing about it's all ones and zeros, right? If we look at it over the next few weeks, we want to add or delete, easy to do, so. And I think we're starting in plenty of time before the conference in March, so. Okay, so I'll let that go then. So let's see.
There,
So yes, that might be a good thing to discuss, or at least start a discussion on the mailing, maybe not the mailing list question, but I'd say the Google group question. I think there was a group in 2017. We want to reinitiate that. I mean, those names in there are what, 300 or 400 people. I thought you had said at one point.
Yeah, I'm checking now. Because I
But
still,
obviously
there
that
are
information is kind of-
342 members. And it's actually, bringing it back may not be a bad thing at this point, because it's called hamsci-eclipse at groups.google.com. And the reason it may not be a bad plan is, so this was an announcement only list. So whereas the regular HamSci listserv is two-way communications, I had this set up as announcement only. And I think it's fair to, even those 342 people, I don't see why we can't start emailing them again. And if they don't want to be on it, they can take themselves off the list. It's a standard Google group. It's easy to do. And then, people who want to be, I think there probably will be people who just want to know what the Eclipse announcements are. There's the place that they sign up for it. And if you want general discussion, you can go on the HamSci Google group.
is there some place where there's a calendar of HamSci meetings, like the one that was down in Huntsville last summer? Or
if you go to groups.google.com, I'm sorry, if you go to hamsci.org, click the big blue button that says join HamSci, and there's a calendar on that page.
Okay. Is there just one meeting this year, or is there going to be several?
I should probably put the actual meeting on there. I can do that right now. So every year there's one HamSci workshop, and that's in March. There are multiple meetings throughout the year, but that's the only one that's officially run by HamSci. The other ones are run by other groups. Like in September, there's the TAPR Digital Communications Conference. Let me make sure I add the HamSci workshop.
And in July, the Society of Amateur Radio Astronomers will be meeting at Green Bank, West Virginia.
So that's another.
Is that in that radio dead zone or that radio free zone?
That is.
National Radio Quiet Zone, I think they call it.
Sarah, or the Society of Amateur Radio Astronomers, mostly work, well, they have done the Radio Jove, which is essentially 20 meters and a number of other things, but a lot of their work is above, is VHF, UHF.
Yeah, the HamSci calendar has been giving me grief for the last couple of months. I'm not sure.
What kind of grief is it giving you?
Do you see it on the screen now?
Let's see. Oh, wow. I've never seen that before.
It's just my luck.
I learn something new every day.
Yeah, I avoid recaptures at all costs.
Well, if somebody else would like to go, it wouldn't hurt to go to the Get Involved webpage and the live ham site just to see if it's, hopefully it's just me and not systemic or endemic, but
Plus side is you might be a robot.
yeah, but yeah, I might.
I just added the ham site workshop to the calendar.
I can see the calendar just fine.
Okay, I have to,
Maybe because I'm logged in with a Google account already.
like I said, okay, I'll have to figure this one out because this has been happening to me for the last at least 2 or 3 months. So I haven't seen the calendar, so. Okay, not for everybody else to worry about.
I'm on that page and I'm not having any trouble.
Okay. All right, so what that tells me is as I work on these web pages, we'll have a button for joining the Hamsci Eclipse Google group then. Nathaniel, are you the one managing that by yourself, or do you need some help, or is there somebody else you want to back you up on that, or?
For the Google group,
Yeah, the Hamsci Eclipse one, just because I know you got a lot of stuff going on.
I will be happy to turn that over to you.
Yeah,
I
okay.
do
Yeah,
too.
I don't mind. It's like, that's fine.
And you're welcome to delegate someone else to help you with that too if you want.
Right, that's fine.
But yeah, I can. I haven't posted anything to it since, last thing I posted was May 7th, 2019.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, I'll add you as a group manager, owner, or something like that.
Okay, that's fine. Like I said,
Can you put your Gmail address in the chat again?
sure.
That'll make it easier for me too.
Okay, I think I'm done with that, so.
Group settings. I'm taking out the word 2017 solar, 2017 total. I'm just making it to Hamsci solar eclipse email list. So
Okay, there you go.
all of them. Okay.
Well, I think that'll address one of your questions about, whether we've got a good or an effective mailing list, and that's the way to get that started. So that's
Yes.
got a good start.
And you are now you're already an existing member. So what I need to do is I need to search for you. And your role is going to be, so you are now a manager. How did you want the emails to come to you?
I can set that up myself, right? I can do a daily digest or whatever I want to do, but
Yeah,
If we're gonna have people checking in, if I need to approve people coming on, I probably don't want to wait 24
Yeah.
hours, so I'll.
I have
figure
it
that
set
one.
for each email right now, so you
Yeah,
can,
that's fine. I can always change it.
okay. Posting, your posting is allowed. So you are now allowed to post to that group. You get each email and you're set as a manager.
All right, good. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get, I'll figure that thing out and get her up to date.
Great.
I think that's about all I had for today myself.
Donald asks if he can add his email. Yes, you can. I'll just put the thing. I think that, so anyone who wants to join this list, I will put the link in the chat here.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, so that, I just put the link in the chat. That's going to be the announcement only Eclipse list that you can join.
Okay. Join.
So people are welcome to try joining it.
Thanks.
I think all that sounds good to me. I do have, I got all of the abstracts. Well, I wouldn't say I have all of the abstracts. I have a good number of abstracts from submitted, and I'm going to work on building out the program, and I will probably be chasing down people that I still need abstracts from and working out those details. Jesse, I really do want to bring your students to the Hamsci workshop if possible. Are you there, Jesse?
I'm here. I'm here. I just
There he is.
pressing
There you
the
go.
wrong. I pressed the red button. But anyway, so the way what I've been told
Mhm.
is that they're free to come. We can just I put out the announcement on our virtual ham ham club site on Discord,
Mhm.
server on Discord, and it's really up to the individual students if they want to go or not, want to come or not. I just asked them to confirm with you, Nathaniel, and also with me if they want to come.
That would be great. When do you think, did you give them kind of a date when they need to decide by?
I did not, but I'm happy to do that.
Because
What
I
would
think,
you recommend?
well, what we want to do is, as soon as possible, we want to set them up with their flights and their transportation and get their hotels set and everything.
Okay.
So, if you give, if you have, what I can do is I'll send an email to both you and Salisa, and maybe the ones who want to come, they can contact Salisa and she can guide them through getting.
That sounds like yeah. All right, good. That's
Okay.
good.
So they'll have
Instead
a
of put-
single point of contact, and she can help them contact the travel agent, get the flight, and help them make sure they know how to get onto the hotel and everything.
All right, that'll work.
Okay, and then each of those let's see, so you said there are 9 students, right?
There are 9 students.
Okay, and then all of them are over 18?
All of them are, yes, they
Okay.
all are 18. I should say 18 or over.
18 or over, as long as they're 18 or over, as long as they're not less than 18.
No.
Okay, good. Because there's a whole other like set of legal things that we have to deal with if they're under.
That's precisely why we picked that population.
Great. Yeah, so over 18 makes it nice and easy. That we will ask them, there's this waiver that that the university is asking all participants to sign. And that covers, because at the conference this will be live streamed and it will be.
okay.
Okay, so it will be media and things like that. Now your students, I'm not, most participants, I'm requiring them to give a poster or some sort of presentation. I'm not going to do that for your students because I think they are, by virtue of being in your class, they're giving up a huge amount of time and are actively participating. And I think that I'm justifying this as this is their chance to come in person, meet each other and meet you.
Okay.
And so, but that shouldn't, but while they're not required to do that, that should not, if someone wanted to put in a poster abstract or something like that, they are by all means welcome to. So,
Okay. Yeah,
okay,
if you could put that in the email, that would be helpful.
yeah,
And I'll pass that along to them. There's, like you said, there's some, there's some, I wouldn't say delicate stuff. We're essentially paying them,
right,
and that kind of thing. And so there was at one time an issue. Well, let's put it this way: we can't ask them to come. I can offer the opportunity,
yeah,
and so that's the way that we're approaching this
yes, and
right
that's it.
now.
This is an opportunity.
Right.
And, right. And this is kind of but it's the same thing for all the other volunteers on here. So we're
Okay.
doing this, we're offering the same sort of thing for other people who are giving presentations and who are participating in the contest, or not contest, conference, participating in the conference. We're offering support for many of the people coming. So
Okay.
it's not just them. And it's a standard reimbursement. So it's not like an honorarium or anything like that. It's all reimbursed through the standard University of Scranton and University of Scranton government policies. And so there's a standard procedure for how they get reimbursed and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And
All right.
they'll be reimbursed through the University of Scranton. And I think their funding will actually be coming from the ARDC.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
great.
Same folks who are funding us.
Exactly. That's
Right.
part of I think this makes a lot of sense then.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Any other demographic questions? The young folks I think we've got 2 prospective mechanical engineers, 1 or 2, maybe 1 astrophysicist potential, and another who is interested in astronomy. So it's kind of an interesting mix of people.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah. So we'd love to have them here. And that'd be
What
really
states
nice.
are they from?
Let's see. Let me pull up. Just from memory, New Mexico. Let me pull my little cheat sheet up for the cohort. Here we go, the cohorts. Okay, we've got the states: Virginia, Newport News, Decatur, Georgia, a bunch of Decatur folks. Interestingly enough, there are about 3 people who are Agnes Scotties in the program. We've got someone from Texas, and Berkeley, California, Chiraco, New Mexico, next to the VLA, I guess, Pittsburgh, and Williamsburg, Virginia.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
That'll be really nice.
Yeah. So I'll as soon as I get the email, I'll forward it off to them. I'll probably do it both via email and on Discord. But I'm liking the Discord thing. It seems pretty good. I'm kind of new to Discord, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I will work on that.
Excellent.
Well, I think that's it from me for today. I have, as always, 3 million emails I have to go send and respond to. So yeah. Do you have anything else, Gary?
Yeah, I'll finish up with one brief anecdote. As I think everybody here knows, the total eclipse will be passing over the Cleveland, Ohio area in 2024. And one of the local counties, the Emergency Management Agency, reached out to all the school districts in that county and suggested that they close school for that day because they expect so many people to come here and view the totality that they don't want kids sitting in school buses stuck in traffic and so on and so forth. So it's people are at least aware of what's going on and making some plans for it. So that's a good thing.
That's great. Wonderful. Anything else from the group? Gary, you can close out the meeting if you like.
Good enough. All right. Thanks, everyone. And thanks for everyone's participation. As always, good to meet some new people. We're glad to see the group is growing, and look forward to meeting many, if not all of you in Scranton in about 6 or 7 weeks.
I'm looking
right,
forward to
take care
meeting
next
you all
month.
too. Take care, everyone. 7-3s.
7-3.
7-3, everybody. Take care.
73.
Bye-bye.
Bye.